Yeah.
This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
What's up, everybody? It's another NFC East show. We ain't been here for a couple of weeks, and we're back. There's only two of us here tonight because we had a late scratch. True Blue said he couldn't make it. Didn't ask why. He just said he couldn't come. So it's just the Eagles and Washington here. Week 3 matchup here on the screen today. And, of course, we're broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Roku TV as part of the Northeast Streaming Sports Network. What's up, Pork Rind?
Oh, man. I'm glad 4th of July is over with because I am exhausted. How you been, Philly?
Not too bad. It's been it's crazy. I've had a lot of stuff going on around me that has nothing to do with sports, and it is really taking part of my. It's like cutting into Miller time. You know what I mean? Because Miller time is like sports time to me, right. It's just like sometimes life gets in the way of everything, and unfortunately, you have to take care of some of the business. So I've had to take care of some of that stuff. But I am still doing my thing, and I'm all excited. We are 2 months away. Literally 2 months away.
Just a couple more weeks till training camp opens up, and I'm pumped.
Yeah, exactly. But I was thinking, I'm like, hold on. Today's the 11th. We start on the 11th. That's a beautiful thing. So yes, I'm literally we're like 62 days away.
Yeah.
2 months because there's 31 days in both July and August. I had to look it up on the calendar. We don't get that extra day anywhere.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm a little bummed out because the training camp schedule came out. I think it was last week. They sent out the emails letting them know what days we're going to be able to go there and watch the practices. And, of course, the days that they're open, I am not going to be able to go. So I'm a little bummed out. But
so the Eagles are only doing one open practice, and it's not really open because you have to buy a ticket. And, of course, We're going to be over in Canton, Ohio.
Canton, yep.
So, I thought they did that really nicely for everybody so that, you either get to watch the practice or you could go, celebrate Dick Vermeil getting into the Hall of Fame, but you can't do both.
Right.
That was somebody was nice. Thinking really well when they planned that. But Of course, I'm going to go watch Dick Vermeil go into the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame as
yeah,
I feel like I should.
that'll be a
So,
good time. You're gonna love Canton.
so I was there for a minute as
Okay,
part of the USFL. I did not get into the building, so I did not
okay,
see anything inside. However, I was there at the stadium, so I did get to watch a game happen with the USFL Championship. The Philadelphia Stars lost a close game to the Birmingham Stallions, and there was an ex-Cowboy who was playing in that game, and he actually crushed it, because he ran for like 135 yards on 10 carries. They just really had a hard time pulling, getting him down. And interestingly enough, the Cowboys did sign somebody off of, I believe it was the New Orleans Breakers squad.
okay.
So there are some players from the
There.
USFL who are going to be in the NFL this year, which
Yeah.
is kind of cool. It's kind of cool to hear that. But my big thing, my first question for you, because I read this the other day, your guy's going to talk to Congress.
Who? Oh, Snyder. Yeah, somebody was telling me about it. Like I said, the last 2 weeks have been crazy at work, so I'm trying to catch up. I mean, obviously everybody heard the news about Terry McLaurin, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see what happens with Mr. Snyder.
Well, I was going to put that second on the list because really, when you're talking about the owner, you had to put him first and
Right.
foremost.
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
I don't know that it's the right idea for him. I don't know that I would be talking to Congress if I was him. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess you got to do what you got to do, and somebody said it might be a right idea, so
Yeah,
we'll
I
see.
mean, we'll see if if things come out or if maybe he's been telling the truth the entire time. We'll see.
So, what is the word around the campfire about your quarterback, Carson
Well,
Wentz?
so I have heard. I mean, when I met him at OTAs, stand-up guy, was very much in front of the fans, signing autographs, taking pictures. Um, and I'll tell you, I mean, granted, it's OTAs. They don't have pads on, they're not getting hit. I get it, but I mean, he looked pretty good, and he's already, established a rapport with Jahan Dotson, our first-round pick from Penn State, and just this past weekend, I'm not sure exactly where they were at, but Carson, Antonio Gibson, Dax Millen, Terry McLaurin, who else? Jahan Dotson was there, but they held like little practice. I don't know if it was Florida or California. They were somewhere, but they were practicing, and I'll tell you, I haven't seen that in a long time from the organization. Players going outside, other than the offensive linemen. The offensive linemen, they used to always do a thing when Trent Williams was here. They would always get together and have like some team, team building exercises and stuff like that. But
Right. So I'll be honest, he did the same thing in 2017.
okay,
He brought everybody up to North Dakota.
okay,
So I see that as part of what it is that he's trying to do. I I hope that he, I know that he's not well liked here in Philadelphia because it's like he quit on the team.
now
But
was that the year after they won the Super Bowl? Everybody feels like he quit on the team.
no, it
No?
was
Okay,
it was actually in 2020
okay,
where everybody felt like he quit on the team. However, I mean there was a run in with the Howie Roseman about the concussion and all this other stuff, and I don't know that how true that is and what have you. My thought is that when we got Hurts, he got scared and ultimately, just he decided not to play anymore. And I feel like that's what was causing all this issue, that he was too busy worried about Hurts in comparison to just doing what he was supposed to do.
Right.
And then, of course, going into Indianapolis, and I mean, he was supposed to go back to what he was doing. Like he got back with the coach who was supposedly the guy who got him to play so well. And, they did win 9 games, but, had they won that 10th game, they wouldn't they wouldn't have been playing for a tie in that last game, with the Raiders and the Chargers.
Yeah.
But I hope, that he comes in there and that he's not beat up too bad. I mean, Washington has not been a great team going in here.
And that's the thing that I worry about too, is how durable will he be? I mean, I definitely feel like our offensive line has gotten a little bit stronger. And we definitely have brought in more weapons around, to help out Terry, obviously. But so I'm excited about it. We've got Heineke as the backup. And then the kid, gosh, my mind just went back. From North Carolina. Round pick. Yeah, from North Carolina. So, let him develop and then see what we get with Wentz. I just hope he stays upright and, throws TDs left and right.
Well, I mean, he was spoken about before as being the guy with, the injury problems.
Right.
He's played the last 2 seasons without any injuries.
Yeah.
So, and really, if you're counting back to 2019, I mean, short of having that really dirty hit, it was a straight dirty hit, and I'm surprised that that the NFL still doesn't recognize that as a dirty hit for Clowney. I mean, short of that, I mean, he played that whole season.
Right.
So I don't really think that he is one of those guys who still carries around the injury bug. Yeah. However, I hope he throws like 2 or 3 picks on week 3.
Hey, I hope not. So we'll see.
That'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun to watch right there with you, standing right next to you, and be like, "There's another one."
Hey, I hope this year it's a totally different game than from what we experienced at the last game of the season last year. So we'll see.
Do you think they tightened the bolts on around the stadium?
I'm sure they have. Yeah, I hope.
I want to make sure everybody remains safe. We're bringing 1,000 people down with us.
Are you? Good.
With Philly Sports Trips. So
nice.
We want to make sure that everybody is going to be able to sit down and relax, and that all the bars are hold on. Like that we're not going to fall onto the field, and
Yeah, I hopefully Mr. Snyder's learned his lesson about that, and we'll make sure we tighten those bolts a little extra for those Eagles fans. They get a little crazy.
I don't know. Does Dan Snyder look like the guy to you that actually pays attention to the details?
I mean, I think he might have been actually just recently in the stadium tightening the bolts himself.
Okay. So, all right. Now I absolutely do not trust it at all. Now I do not trust it at all. I feel like that's just a setup for for all of us. But so in a realistic sense, do you feel like that your team is going to be able to compete for, even getting into like a wild card?
I mean, I'm not going to lie, Philly. I really think that every one of the NFC East teams will be above 500 this year. I really do, just with the strength of the schedule. I mean, the divisions that we're playing, they're not the greatest. So I think we can sneak by. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there's 2 teams from the NFC East getting a wild card this year.
That's a pretty big, bold statement, especially since everybody is picking Minnesota. That's the sexy pick this year to come out of the NFC North, with the Packers grabbing a wild card spot, and then having such a tough division out west. with
Yeah,
Arizona and the Rams.
yeah,
And
the Rams and the 49ers. Yeah, yeah.
I think the 49ers take a step backwards. I don't
I
believe that they
I'm
are as
with you.
good as they are.
I'm with you, and especially I mean they're going to be starting Trey Lance. I mean I'm not sold on that guy.
Yeah. So and the fact that they're going with him and they're like, hey, Jimmy, sorry, we
Yeah,
appreciate the fact that you brought us to the playoffs and won us a couple of games, but
yeah,
tough. You're out
yeah.
later. You
They're going to
know?
rely a lot on that defense, and that offense isn't moving the ball. That defense is going to get tired pretty quick. So
Yeah, and I don't think Trey Lance is the guy either.
no,
I kind of believe that the 49ers could go 5 or 6 games and not play very well and then lose that locker room.
right.
It's just so the coach of the 49ers, he was the coach of
Shanahan.
he was the coach.
Yeah, he was the offensive coordinator for the Redskins when RG3 was there. And then from the Redskins, he went over to Atlanta. He actually coached in the Super Bowl where Tom Brady had that comeback against the Falcons when they were up pretty big going into halftime. And then,
Well, and I don't
yeah,
blame that on him. You know what I mean?
no,
That had
no,
more to do with the fact that there was an
Matt
hour and
Ryan,
45 minutes of no offense on the field. That was
yeah, but yeah, that wasn't raw sewage. That was rainwater, by the way. Chris
see,
Lentz. Yeah,
it just when rainwater sits in a pipe for too long, it stinks. So
exactly.
you don't want it on you either way. So it's not
No,
raw
you don't.
sewage. It wasn't. Nobody was flushing toilets.
Yeah,
But it still is nasty.
it's still stinky water.
So we are. So hopefully all the pipes got cleaned and fixed, and
I hope
the
so.
bolts are tightened, and either way, I'm not going to be pushing up too hard on any of those railings.
I wouldn't either. Stay away from the railings.
So
I'm sure the security will be a little bit more conscious of that this year and not let fans lean over the railings. So because it could have been a lot worse than what it was. So, but we've got 4 more years, 5 more years, and hopefully we'll have a new stadium by then.
hopefully, depending on how everything goes with Congress.
Yeah,
because that's going to be a whole interesting debacle, to say the least. How much do you think that affects your team?
Affects the team? I mean, I'm sure it does probably affect them a lot because the DC media, that's all they talk about, and these players, they're concentrating on the game or they're coming off of a game, and they want to talk about what happened in the game, and they constantly get, asked the question about Dan Snyder and, especially Ron Rivera and the coaches. I mean, they're constantly being asked about it. It does. It has to affect them.
Well,
no matter if they say that they don't pay attention to it.
What gets me is that there was nobody there during the time that this all happened. So, I mean, Ron Rivera wasn't there. I mean, this is all happened. This all happened
this is
back
in
regime. So
before
like 2010.
Yep.
So like there's nobody there that is on this team currently that got to see any of the cheerleaders. You know what I mean? They didn't get to bear any of the fruits of all the stuff that was going on over there.
Right.
So it was like, none of them were on the plane. Nope. None of them went to Snyder Island, and with all the cheerleaders and stuff like that.
Nope.
So I got to imagine that it's not only frustrating, but it's got to make you wonder who you're playing for.
Yeah.
And that's where I wonder, it's interesting that they're making him kind of talk now, because obviously I feel that his words are going to affect the play on the field. And that's just an honest, assessment. You know what I mean? That he's going to, and if he acts an idiot, which he's prone to do.
Yes. Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't say anything like Happy Thanksgiving or,
then, if that's the case, then he, it could really downturn, I feel like that there is a good 25% chance that
He gets removed.
that Washington implodes.
Yeah.
That the team implodes because of his and the things that he's doing.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
I hope not. I mean, I definitely feel like we're heading in the right direction with, Jason Wright, the team president, and Ron Rivera. I mean, he's definitely making some moves in the right direction. And, I feel like Snyder is, finally gotten out of the way and letting somebody else come in there and just, he owns the team, and then that's it. And now he's got people in place that can actually manage the team, get the right people in place, and just let them do their job. He sets back and, hopefully reaps the benefits of it. So we'll see. We'll see. I know. Trust me, I know there's a lot of fans that are not a fan of him and have been wanting to have him removed for a while now. So we will see.
As Allen being one of them, he's like he hopes he gets out of there. So and then there is a lot to.
What's up, Dirks?
Tyler saying hello.
See him in a couple of weeks in Canton.
Yep. I know that he's going to be there. Obviously, he's all excited about his Jaguars.
Oh yeah, and, first Hall of Famer getting inducted this year.
Got ya. What's up, Tyler? Good to see you. See you in a couple of weeks. I like I said, I was already out there. I got to find out all about the parking. There is none. So yeah, that was the one thing I learned about Canton very quickly. That there is no parking.
There is definitely no parking.
But that they take very good to painted faces. So I was there as the Stars representative. I think the USFL did put me on the TV. They actually put me on a commercial, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was
very cool.
Yeah, there wasn't many of them out there, so I think I was the only one with the painted face and doing a live broadcast from there. So it was a good time. Like I said, it's I'll be more excited to go into the building.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. So you've never been inside the Hall of Fame?
Never.
Oh, you're gonna be a kid in a candy store. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, for stuff like that, I geek out. I do geek out.
Oh yeah, you trust me. Last year was my second time, and having my wife there, and she's never experienced it or anything like that, and I was geeking out still after seeing it for the second time, and her first experience, really cool. So I look forward to it every year.
Well, like I said, this is going to be my first one as part of as guest of the PFUFA. So it'll be interesting to see everybody in all of their splendor like that, because obviously I've met a few of you guys, but I haven't met the entire crew. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to take part in it.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, you're going to love it.
But and then I think there's even going to be a football game that weekend, right? Somebody's going to be playing.
I believe it's Thursday or Friday night. I can't remember, but I know it's I want to say it's the Jaguars and Raiders.
Oh, so Tyler's going to be all excited about that.
Yeah.
So, and they actually Jags and the Raiders, and they have been doing a tremendous amount of construction. There was a lot of construction that's going on. They're putting in a casino. They're putting in a mall. Like there's a lot of stuff that's going on over there. So I was like, oh, okay. And I just expected to see the one little building and the stadium around it, but it's going to be interesting, obviously, to see all that stuff. But we still got a few more weeks left. I think it's a month out before we get out there, so I'll be all excited and ready to go once that happens, because that's like the official kickoff to the season.
Football, yeah. What day are you going to be getting there?
I believe the 2nd.
Okay, so the same day I'm getting there. So I think that's a Wednesday. Is it Wednesday, Tuesday, or Wednesday?
Yeah,
Can't
now you're
wait to
asking
check it out.
questions. I don't
I
know
know,
what
I
day
know.
is, let alone. Let's see. Let's
August the
see.
2nd is a Tuesday. So I believe that Wednesday, it's either Wednesday or Thursday. You'll have to check this out. The first play where the kids are passing the ball that leads right up to the steps of the Hall of Fame. It's a pretty
Okay.
cool experience. I wasn't able to do it last year, but I've heard all about it, and I'm getting there on Tuesday just so that way I can experience that this year because it's pretty cool.
I will tell you that I was fairly surprised at how well I was received by the people there at the Hall of
Okay.
Fame. And I'm talking about the fans. I'm not talking about the people who run the Hall of Fame.
Right.
You know, that the kids, I mean, they're mostly
Oh
Ohio
yeah.
kids, and they
Yeah.
knew who I was.
No,
You know what I mean?
that's awesome.
They came up to me, and I mean,
Oh,
I know that that's where my demographic is on TikTok. That I have a
right.
lot of followers on TikToks, and most of them
Right.
are between the ages of like 12 and like 20. But
Right.
I was really surprised at how many Pittsburgh fans and Cleveland Browns fans who know who I am,
Yeah.
which is surprising to me because you figure that you follow more about your team, but you know when
Hey.
you got the loudest mouth in the NFL, you're heard.
It does help you out, Jamie. It does help you out. But
So,
no,
and
you're
Tyler's
right.
saying that first play is Wednesday morning.
Morning. Yep. Yep.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Right,
you got to
so
check that out. It's gonna be I know I'll be there, so it's something really cool. And from what, because like I said, I got there last year on Thursday, and everybody that had gone to it on Wednesday, they had a great time. And there's plenty of pictures with kids coming up to you wanting to get pictures, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
yeah, I hope I want to be in that first play because I'm a big kid. So that's how it is. I want to just get in the
Yep.
line, yeah, pass that ball along. So
Yep.
there we go. And
Yeah.
see,
Saturday night.
Tyler's giving
Yep.
us all the rundown.
Oh
And
yeah.
listen, if this isn't just for us super fans, if you are a fan and you would like to go and witness an induction, a Hall of Fame induction, feel free to go on out there. I mean, this is not just for super fans and these kids. This is for everybody who likes football. So feel free to go out there. I mean, I don't know how tough it is to get a room. I mean, Cleveland is not that far away, so you could get a room in Cleveland and stay down there at the flats and then still drive in and out every day. Of course, finding parking is not going to be the easiest thing in the world to do. But once you
No,
found
it's
the
not.
parking spot, you could just go back to that same parking spot because I'll be honest, there was a little parking lot that was like, oh, well, nobody's parking here. Perfect. And I
Yeah.
just pulled in, parked there. There was no signs that saying they were going to tow me away. I walked 7 minutes, got to the stadium, and then
Yeah, and I
waited
know,
like
I know a lot of the neighborhood that surrounds the Hall of Fame. I mean, they're if you get there early enough, I mean they're pretty much renting out their front yard for a parking lot. So
that is exactly correct. So
so
I
yeah.
heard that there were people that actually make a few $100s
Oh,
uh,
yeah,
a week or a month,
they
when they do this. So
yeah,
I imagine that that's the case. I already know where my parking spot is. However, I just figured I'd Uber.
yeah.
It
That's
sounds like
probably
Uber is the best way to go because then you
yep.
can get dropped off, and then my makeup can get on somebody else's car, and I ain't got to worry about it.
There you go.
So interestingly enough, I was all painted up today because I was asked to do a small commercial.
Nice.
So the Philly Sports Guy will be actually probably put out there tomorrow. So
What commercial with who?
I don't
Can you
want to
say
say.
yet?
You'll
Okay.
see
All right.
you'll see it tomorrow. So
Nice.
I just yeah, it was fun getting all painted up. I got all excited for it. I'm like, look at this. I got the shoulder pads on. They still fit. The jersey. Actually, I'm a little slimmer. It doesn't look like I
Nice.
got a dad bod as much anymore.
Hey,
I'm getting in mid-season form here.
there you
All
go.
excited about it.
Nice.
So it's it's like I'm all ready for this trip. So
Yeah, I'm
hey, listen,
excited.
we are about halfway through, so I'm gonna do our uh, couple of advertisements. We have to definitely get our sponsors in order. And we're going to start this one off with Philly Sports Trips, and of course, showing off how we do it in Washington. So we'll be back in just a few moments, right after these commercial messages.
I see them blue, me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Wait, no, you gotta get me at the random. I'm not prepared.
What a wonderful world. What a wonderful.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride Experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
I mean, you can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, isn't he?
And we are back. Oh, I forgot to play the music. I'm so slow with that stuff. So I have come back in music, so which is kind of cool. But no music just yet. So I mean, obviously, as I watch that video from Philly Sports Trips, obviously it is a Redskins marker on at the 50-yard line there.
Yep.
Are you interested to see what they do this year with the field?
I mean, they've already shown it. They're going to put Commanders in the end zone, and then they'll have the W in the 50-yard line.
Yeah, so weak sauce, right?
Hey, man, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I
know they're supposed to be doing a bunch of. They've been, close lips on what they're going to do for in-game, experiences and all that stuff. So we'll see.
Well, hopefully they actually have them in-game experiences because I don't remember any in-game experiences last year.
Oh, you had the dance squad. Sorry, I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah. No, I mean, we'll see. They're supposed to spruce up the, pregame announcements and all that good stuff. So, I don't know. They got away from. We used to have that big helmet, and then they got away from that, and they had these little smoke things, and it did shoot out fire. But then after Tennessee Titans tried to catch their Field on Fire. That kind of all the fire and everything kind of went away. Now it's just smoke. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. It's going to be interesting. They're supposed to come out with a mascot and all this stuff. So we'll see.
They're going to come out with like a big looking general type thing.
I hope not, man. I mean, we're trying to get them. Obviously, we're trying to get them to go with a hog, maybe dressed as a general or as a commander. But we'll see. There's they want to tie it with the past, so
So do you feel that now? I mean, usually teams have their throwback uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going to go to the throwback uniform of the football team? Is that what they're going to do?
I don't know. So I don't think it'll be the football team. I think they're just going to go with the throwback. See that? No, that's salute to service, because we've got 3 uniforms. We've got the burgundy, then we've got the all white, and then we've got the black uniform, which is totally new. And that's going to be the salute to service uniform that they wear this year. But yeah, I when it comes to, I'm trying to remember who we play for because this is our 90th anniversary this year. So we always have, every year we have a homecoming game where we'll bring players from the past decades, and this year they're going to announce 10 more members to the all commander team, or whatever you want to call it. But so it'll be
commander team.
Yeah, the all commander team. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I honestly, I don't know what they would do for a throwback, because there's no telling. I know it's not going to have an Indian on the helmet. So
So, and you guys came into the league the same time as the Eagles in 1933?
1932.
Okay.
32.
So,
Yep.
All right. So, yeah, so you guys were 1 year ahead of us.
Yeah, we were 1932. We were the Boston Braves. 1933 is when they moved to, was it 33 or 30? No, 37 was when they moved to Washington, and they ended up being the Redskins. So,
Gaia. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, I mean, maybe they could go back to those old Boston Braves uniforms.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they went back when RG3 was here. We had those leather-looking helmets, and then the deep burgundy with the gold pants. I mean, we've been wearing those for our throwbacks the last couple of years. So, who knows? Who knows?
Got you. Well, I mean, hey, listen. At least they came up with a team name. Although it has nothing to do with anything, and so much thought went into it, and I feel like that was a big swing and a miss. But we're done talking about that. It's been the running joke for so long. I figure I should dig it in more time. With the football team.
Yeah.
But and like we do have, there's still now, and you see some Commanders fans coming out of the woodwork. All 7 of you are showing up all at one time. So Aaron's saying that he's been there since Joe Gibbs the second time around. Yep. That was when he was in between racing cars, right? So he was like coaching the team and coaching his NASCAR team.
Yeah, he was still the president of he still owned his team. So, but yeah, I mean, when he came back, man, I'll tell you, they had a pretty damn good team, and I really felt like they were heading in the right direction. And that year that Sean Taylor passed away, I mean, the team was playing some inspiring football. And I'll be honest, like, we were, really close to going to the NFC Championship game, because we were playing the Seahawks, and I mean, we were dominating the game, and we just had. There was a couple calls that just didn't go our way, and after that, man, it just, I don't know, just went down south for us real quick. But yeah, we were. I honestly thought that was the year that we might have actually gone. So we'll see.
Back to the
glory days with Joe Gibbs.
And Seattle wound up winning the Super Bowl that year, or they lost. Or was that
it
Super
was-
Bowl 40 where they lost to?
I think they lost it
Pittsburgh?
to the Pittsburgh. Yep.
Yeah, so I was up in Detroit for that Super Bowl. I didn't go to the game actually, but I was
You were
in
just there.
Detroit for Super Bowl XL. You know,
Yep.
that's it. Yeah, it
That was when the bus got his Super Bowl, right?
yes.
Or was that yeah, okay.
Yeah, and I think that was Ben's first Super Bowl because he did win 2.
Yep.
I think he won 2. Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
that
he
was the
did.
first
He
one.
beat
That was
the,
Cowers. That was Cowers' Super Bowl.
last. Yep.
So because he only won 1 Super Bowl.
Right.
But and then what's his face won 1 Super Bowl.
Tomlin. Yeah.
Tomlin. Maybe he can actually pay attention and not be on the field next time. So somebody's running down a cheater. I didn't see it.
That was an accident.
Of course it was. It's like, oh, look me on the screen. Hi, Mom. I'm in the way. What are you doing on the field anyways? That should have been a big fine and a 15-yard penalty. But you can't score it. That's the one thing that they have in the rule books that is very interesting. They never award a run or a touchdown or a point for any reason.
Right.
You have to actually score the point.
Yep.
So, but it is what it is. Anyways, so obviously, like I said, we play each other in week 3.
Week 3.
Do you think so? With all of the additions to the Eagles team, and I mean, of course, there's some stuff that's coming out right now that Jalen Hurts does not look good. Blah 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 blah. I really, I don't even listen. It's like I saw something on Twitter. I'm like, let's just get this thing started. It's going to be so much easier.
They don't have pads on. Come on,
They said he had 10 plays. Out of those 10 plays, he threw 3 interceptions, had 4 incompletions, and 3 sacks.
He's getting out of the way.
And I tell you, the offensive line ain't going to let up 3 sacks in a game ever, let alone in 10 plays. So I don't want to even hear it. It's such a load of crap, is what it is.
Yeah.
But
they're just.
That being said, do you think that where do you think that you guys will fall into the placement?
I've done I guess a mock schedule of like how we're gonna fare out, and I actually think that game's gonna be a close game. I mean, Hurts. The thing that we don't do well against is running quarterbacks. We never do. We suck against Kyle Murray. Kyle Murray. Dak Prescott. We normally last year, we stunk. At home we played them a little bit better, but we just don't do well against running quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson killed us. So I don't.
Have you guys
think
beaten Daniel Jones yet?
Have we beat Daniel Jones? Yeah, we beat him last year. Week 3, I think it was. We played him Thursday night game. We beat him. We shouldn't have beat him. He overthrew. God, what was our receiver's name? He overthrew. It was in Washington, but yeah, we barely beat him.
And that's the only time because he's been undefeated.
Yeah, he's been undefeated against us. Yep.
Yeah. He can't beat anybody else, but he's beating you guys.
Yeah, he definitely can beat us.
Because he's not a running quarterback. That's kind of what I was getting
he's
at.
Definitely not. Well, he does, but he likes to trip over yard lines.
The 19-yard lines.
Yeah. So, I think Carson Wentz, as long as he can keep his emotions in check, I think he's going to be out for blood against you guys, man. So we'll see.
Well, I know that, of course, being the loudest fan in the NFL, he's going to hear it from me that day.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will.
It's
and
like
I hope every time he throws a touchdown, he's going to be pointing at you too.
Hey, listen, that'd be fine if he throws a touchdown. Yeah, because I would love to see Big Play Slay do a pick 6 touchdown. He can point at me all he wants.
Not that kind of touchdown.
I am all game for that because I see that happening quite a bit.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see the chemistry you would have with McLaurin. Like,
Yeah.
I think that McLaurin is still going to get his.
Oh yeah.
And I feel that Carson's just got to make sure to get that long ball.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
something that we haven't had. I mean, ever since even Terry's rookie year, I mean, Haskins, he could throw a pretty ball. But he had other issues. But other than Haskins, I mean, we really haven't had a quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. Heineke, I mean, if the wind was blowing that way, he could hopefully Chase Young. Yeah, I think Chase is gonna be back, man. We saw what's the defensive end from 49ers. He had the rookie of the year, and then he tore his ACL, and then he came back, had double digit sack. What was his name? Boy from Ohio State. I'm drawing a blank.
Isn't he? Well, no, I'm thinking of
God
I don't
bless.
know that Watt. Isn't it a Watt brother?
No, it's not Watt. It's that he does have a brother plays. Yes, thank you. Joey? No, Nick. It's either Nick or
Bosa.
Joey Bosa, one of the two.
Yeah, it's one of the Bosa. I knew it was a brother.
It's a brother,
so.
right? Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I see Chase. He's going to come back stronger. He might have told me during the draft he's going to have a double digit sack.
He might have
this year, so might have.
I
asked him how he was doing, and he said that he's doing good. So, and I saw him at OTAs. He was on the sideline doing some, just working out, and he looked good. So I think it'll be fun.
Some of the drills, just keeping it on going. Just
keeping
it warmed
just
up
doing
and
some
getting ready.
Yeah, that's it. So
I mean, so with as stacked as your line should be, at what point do you feel that those picks turn out to be busts?
I mean, Montez Sweat, I mean, I don't think they are bust. I mean, they just who's it? Jonathan Allen, he just re-signed. I mean, that guy, he gives it his all every play. I mean, that guy is just a monster. He takes on two people just about every play. Deron Payne, he's going into his contract year. There's signs that he might not come back after this year with us drafting the defensive tackle from I kind of agree with you there, Aaron. I mean, if you're going to not sign him, get something from him. But, I mean, they just drafted the kid out of Alabama who's basically a mini Deron Payne. He's a monster too. So, we'll see, man. I don't see any of them as a bust right now. I just, Montez Sweat, he's been living up to, that first round pick. And I mean, there's no way Chase Young's going to be a bust. There's no way.
All right. Well, we'll see about that. I mean, obviously this offensive line, I mean, there's 4 first round picks in that defensive line. So, however, the offensive line is the other side of that ball and not as strong.
I'm confident. I'm confident, man. They came on strong towards the end of the year, and yes, we lost Brendan Sheriff, but we also gained the I can't think of his name. Like I said, I'm exhausted. But the guy from Jacksonville that we got, I mean, they're basically, on the same level. I think we've upgraded.
If you would have said any other team
than Jacksonville,
yeah,
hey, but he was the guy in Jacksonville. So,
well, there had to be one.
Yeah, there had to be one. So he was the guy. But no, I think
he's the one that didn't let up any sacks. Everybody else is the ones that let up the sacks.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing that I'm really excited about with the Eagles is that the offensive line is going to be amazing. And now with the pickup of half of Georgia's defense, that I think that the defense is going to be really a whole new level. You know, that's
your
going to
defensive
be.
backs, everything, man. You guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like I see the Eagles. I hate saying it, but I do see the Eagles probably winning the East this year.
So do I. So, and
I mean, of course you
I'm
do.
trying to be, and I'm well, no, but I'm trying to be realistic. I didn't have the
Right.
Eagles winning the East last year. I
Right.
thought that Dallas was going to win it. I said that they were going to win 9 games, and they did. So, I mean, it's they made me hold true. I didn't think that we would win the playoff game. We did not. So it's I think that we did exactly what I thought we would.
Right.
Now, this year, I have us slated to go to the NFC Championship game. Now, I can't see beyond that, which makes me think that I don't think we get beyond that. I feel like that we would probably lose in that game.
Now,
However,
do you think Hurts is going to be your quarterback in that game?
yes, I do. So, which means that he would be back a following year.
Right.
So, if he is not the quarterback in that game, we are not going to be able. We're not going to make it there. And Danny, obviously, being a Giants fan, knows nothing about football. So the O-line is trash. Figure out what an O-line is up in New York before you start talking about anybody else's. That obviously your team stinks out loud. And since Sneaky's not even here to be able to give you any credence,
he would agree
whatsoever.
with him, though.
Yeah,
he would agree.
That they're going to go 17-0, but their offensive line stinks. You have a quarterback who I feel is going to quit on their team, and that you guys are going to wind up still bringing up the rear again in the NFC East. But how you doing, Danny? It's good to see you.
And wasting another and wasting another season for Barkley.
Yeah, and the Cowboys will not win the East. I think the Cowboys took a couple of steps backwards.
I agree.
Obviously, their offensive line took a hit. They lost some players. They just are not going to. And I feel that there is a fracture with Dak and the other people who get the ball.
Yeah.
So I think, I still think I would have traded Zeke. I would have traded him.
Oh yeah,
I talked about this with everybody. I would have gotten a second or a third round pick if I could, and traded him away. Every Cowboys fan said no.
Yep.
They would want to keep him.
They love Zeke,
and I just don't see it. I don't see it. I feel like he's gotten old, and that step has been lost already.
Oh yeah,
Pollard is the better back right now. I feel.
I agree.
And I feel that if they're going to still lean on Zeke, he's not going, they're just going to fall apart. And I would not be surprised if they're, I keep talking about this implosions of teams, but I wouldn't be surprised that the Cowboys have a mini one of those towards the end of the season. Where that they lose like a big game and a game that puts them almost out of the playoffs, if not out of the playoffs. And they just that next game or two that they just throw in the towel.
Stunk it up. Yep.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
and talking about Zeke losing a step. I mean, week 1 of last year when they were playing the Bucks, and you saw him take that outside pitch, to score. I mean, any other season he would have easily walked in there. But he got ran down and tackled for a loss. And, they didn't get it in the end zone. And, I mean, right then and there, I was like, that's not the same Zeke. And then throughout the entire season, he got worse. So
yeah, and
I know he was battling a knee injury too. But
he was injured, and I can chalk some of that up to that. But at what point do you say, okay, maybe the game has passed him by?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I guess he's what, 29, 30 years old.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
Running backs are a dime a dozen, and the fact that you're paying him so much money. And Dak, I mean, between him and Dak, you got half of the payroll just out.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if Dak can really put it together. I love how Cowboys fans are always saying that Dak has got all these numbers and stuff like that. how before he got hurt a couple years ago, he was like the second
was
best
lighting it up.
quarterback.
Yeah.
He was.
He was.
In garbage time.
Yeah, exactly.
In garbage time. They were
exactly.
the defense was giving up 100 points a game, and he was scoring 90.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. You lost because you could throw for 500 yards and a loss, and another 500 yards and a loss. And they were 1-4 at one point.
Yeah.
So it's I think that Dak is better on paper.
Absolutely.
And he's still got that chip on his shoulder should be pretty big at this point.
Yeah. He reminds me of Kirk Cousins.
So
puts up a ton of numbers, but can't win the big games.
Yes, I agree. I think that it is a little suspect. That offensive line is suspect in Dallas. And I feel that that's going to be one of the weaknesses for the running game and for Dak Prescott. He's going to need to be a lot more mobile. And how mobile is he? Is he able to do the things he was doing before that injury? Because that's going to play a really big part in this. And, it really comes down to, Jerry had to pay him all that money because they saw how much they didn't have another quarterback.
Yep, exactly. They saw, firsthand after his ankle injury, they saw it. So they had to pay him the money. I agree with you, Danny. I think he is the next Romo as well.
Yep. Well, I don't think it matters. I think that as long as Jerry is there and in charge, it's a perpetual Romo.
Yep.
Somebody who can play pretty well, but is not going to ever win a big game.
Take him to the I agree.
It's just another version of a Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
I believe that's what got rid of Cooper. Over there. So
I just feel bad for him because now he's with the Browns. So
but realistically, I don't even know who's going to quarterback over there. So who's going to throw him a ball even a little bit?
What's his name? Brissett? Is that his name? The guy that came from the Colts?
Tony Brissett.
Yeah, well, I think maybe he was with the Dolphins last year, but Patriots, Colts, whatever.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Fitzpatrick didn't go over there.
He's retired, man.
Yeah, I know. I think he'll be back next year.
After that water park incident last year where he hurt his hip.
Was he on a roller coaster?
He was at a water park. He was at a water park going down the slide, and him and his kids kept on going and going. And then all of a sudden, somebody saw him like limping, and then he didn't go down the slide anymore. And that's how it happened. And then he got hit in the first game of the season a couple years ago, and that was it.
Smack.
Yep.
Although I thought Heineke was going to be a lot better. Obviously he played a great playoff game, almost beat Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And I thought that he was going to be able to show something. But unfortunately, I think that game may have gone to his head.
Yeah. Well, he's a humble guy. He really is. And the kid's got heart. I'll give him that. He's not scared to take a hit. He's proven that. But he just doesn't have the arm strength. That's what he lacks. If his arm strength was equal up to his heart, the kid would be solid. But unfortunately, he's going to be our backup, so we'll see. He might get an opportunity.
Hey, that's the one thing about Carson is that you never know. You never know. It's like we don't know if he's going to remain the starter and how the team is going to rally around him when there are issues. So that'll be interesting to kind of see. So surprisingly enough, the hour is over. See what happens when you actually start talking. See, we specifically went to
when Sneaky's not around, I might be able to get a word in every once in a while.
Yeah, I know Sneaky likes to hog the microphone, like it's some barbecue. Because he's always talking about that barbecue
sandwich, yeah.
And he always says I ate more than him. That one time at band camp, I ate more than him. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be rebroadcasting this on Thursday on our Roku channel, so please be able to get to there. And also, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for the the NFC East show as well. So, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. And as always, go Birds!